Ladies and gentlemen, this is an unprecedented time in the crypto space. We have not seen this kind of dump in a very long while, especially seeing what happened with Luna. Very pathetic. And this is one of the biggest dumps that crypto have ever experienced. I think this is one of the biggest dump we have actually seen in the shortest time in the crypto space. Okay, we have seen these kind of things in the market several times. We saw this around 2018, and we also saw this around 2020 and before the boom in 2021. So Bitcoin recently tanked below the 30k mark. But at this point, it tanked to like 27,000, and now we are around $29,000. Okay, and the crypto markets shared almost 8.68% in the last 24 hours. In fact, the market cap was around 1.8 trillion, and we've lost almost 6 billion in the crypto space in this shortest period of time within the last couple of days, in the last 7 days. There are so many dips going on right now. The blood on the street is actually red. I mean to say that the crypto space is red right now, and a lot of people's portfolios are bleeding, including mine. And of course, you've not actually lost until you sell off your coins at below the price. Okay, but this is actually a very tempting time where we have extreme fear in the market. Okay, look at Solana here, 46% down, and XRP 35% down. And one of the biggest dump, like I was saying in the beginning of this video, is Luna. Okay, Terra Luna. So now I'm going to explain to you why the sudden dump in Terra Luna, why we're having so massive dump. Okay, so now Terra is the stable coin equivalent to Luna. Just like you have USDT, USDC, and BUSDC. Okay, those are stable coins. Now ordinarily Terra USD is supposed to be trading at $1, but you can see here we have this trading at 40 cents. Okay, and it has dropped down to around 59% in the last 7 days. Okay, so now what happened is actually that unlike the other stable coins like USDT, Tether, and USDC, okay, USDC has equivalent of the dollar in a bank, and Tether, we don't actually have a clear picture of how they mint their coins. It's not very clear. Okay, but for Terra USD, UST is a decentralized stable coin. Okay, and it is linked with the equivalent, the twin coin, which is Luna. Now what happens is that as Luna is being burnt, equivalent of $1 bond in Luna would give rise to $1 in Terra in UST. Okay, and so also when you spend $1 UST also to get Luna minted. Okay, so there is no physical or actual funds, okay, to back up the Terra USD. So now what happened is that as the crypto market is tanking, if you remember, the CEO of Terra USD, or okay, Kwong, who recently purchased some amount of Bitcoin, about 1.6 billion, okay, to back up Terra USD. Now with the price of BTC falling, okay, it's actually puts pressure, so they had to like sell in order to have backup for the stable coin. Now this in turn forced more of Luna being minted, okay, and it forced buyers or investors to begin to sell off. So as people began to sell off more, okay, the price began to tank. Now, if you notice, even Luna is no longer on the first page when you come to CoinMarketCap. So it actually dipped to the point that it had to go to the next page. So when we go to page 2, so on page 2, we see that the one of the trending coins here is Terra and Luna. And unfortunately, they are trending in the negative because they are top losers right now. So right here we can see that Terra is now ranked at number 396, which means it has left the first page, it has left the second page, and it has even left the third page, and is now on the fourth page. And very soon it might enter the next fifth page. So you can see, this is to tell you how deep this has gone to. Like, this has lost 99% of its value in the last 24 hours. Okay, now Luna was around $100 in the last couple of months, like a month ago, and you can see it right now just around 1 cent, and it doesn't still look like there is redemption. Even as I'm making this video, you can see that it's still going down. The price is falling down like a waterfall. I really commiserate with people who are heavily invested in this, because I know they have actually lost a lot of money. Like, I saw one post on Twitter where a guy said he lost almost $1 million of his portfolio because he was heavily invested with Terra. That's to tell you that the crypto market cannot be trusted or cannot be predicted. You can be a millionaire today and tomorrow you are poor, or you can be poor today and tomorrow you are rich. So it is very volatile. It has high volatility rate. And of course, we have seen this in the past. We have seen the bear market taking up the whole market, and we've also seen the bull market. So these are market cycles. And to be honest with you, I also think that this is actually the best time to shop or to buy in the crypto space. If you have not invested before into crypto, this is the time you really want to look into buying into crypto space, because we will not have this kind of price depreciation in a very long time again, or we might not actually have it occurring again. But I'm not going to advise anyone to buy right now. I will say that you watch the market and see how the market goes and be able to make a decision. Of course, this channel is not about giving you financial advices, but we just tell you our own motive. So we'll just tell you about our own perspective of things, and you can make your own decisions by doing your own research. And this news here says, cryptocurrency Luna now almost worthless after controversial stablecoin it is linked to loses peg. Luna, the sister cryptocurrency of controversial stablecoin Terra USD, has collapsed to nearly $0. Terra USD or USD has been dragged into the spotlight in the last few days after the so-called stablecoin, which is supposed to be pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar, fell sharply below the $1 mark. USD is an algorithmic stablecoin which uses code to maintain its price at around $1 based on a complex system of minting and burning. A USD token is created by destroying some of the related cryptocurrency Luna to maintain the dollar peg. Unlike its rivals like Tether and USD Coin, USD is not backed by any real-world assets such as bonds. Instead, the Luna Foundation Guard, a non-profit created by Terra's founder, Do Kwon, is holding about $3.5 billion of Bitcoin in reserve. For us to understand what is actually happening in the crypto space right now, we need to understand the impact of the interest rate changes that was recently done by the Federal Reserve, Fed. So the US Fed makes the biggest interest rate rise in 22 years, unprecedented. The Federal Reserve said it was lifting its benchmark interest rate by half a percentage point to a range of 0.75% to 1% after a smaller rise in March. So it was previously around 0.50%. So that type of hike in increase just to curb inflation actually had its toll on the market. Not just the crypto market, but also the stock market in general. Now, for us to clearly understand this, we see that inflation in the US has hit around 8.5% in March, the sharpest annual rate since 1981, driven by accelerating costs for food and energy. So that is well above the bank's 2% target and has become a growing political issue for the US President Joe Biden. However, previously, a Dutch bank has warned that there could be a major recession coming soon. So if you remember, in 2020, we had COVID and we were hit with recession. Although it did not prolong, but people speculate that that actually culminates to what we're experiencing right now. The Dutch bank raised eyebrows earlier this month by becoming the first major bank to forecast a US recession, albeit a mild one. Now, its warning of a deeper downturn caused by the Federal Reserve's quest to knock down stubbornly high inflation. We will get a major recession, Dutch bank economists wrote in a report to clients on Tuesday. So the problem, according to the bank, is that while inflation may be peaking, it will take a long time before it gets back down to Fed's goal of 2%. That suggests the central bank will raise interest rates so aggressively that it hurts the economy. Of course, no one knows precisely how this will play out. Although the Deutsche Bank is pessimistic, it is the most bearish among major banks on Wall Street. Others contend this gloom and doom is overdone. Goldman Sachs concedes it will be very challenging to bring down high inflation and wage growth, but stresses that a recession is not inevitable. Now you may ask, why does the Fed cut interest rates when the economy begins to struggle? Or why did they raise them when the economy is booming? The theory is that by cutting rates, borrowing costs decrease, and this prompts businesses to take out loans to hire more people and expand production. The logic works in reverse when the economy is hot. Here, we take a look at the impact on various parts of the economy when the Fed changes interest rates from lending and borrowing to consumer spending to the stock market. When interest rates change, there are real-world effects on the ways that consumers and businesses can access credit to make necessary purchases and plan their finances. It even affects some life insurance policies. So here are some key takeaways. Number one, central banks cut interest rates when the economy slows down in order to reinvigorate economic activity and growth. Secondly, the goal is to reduce the cost of borrowing so that people and companies are more willing to invest and spend. And thirdly, interest rate changes spill over to many facets of the economy, including mortgage rates and home sales, consumer credit and consumption, and stock market movements. Now here is the big question. In all this, will Luna recover? Luna crashed due to its link to UST, a stablecoin which was pegged to the US dollar. Stablecoins are cryptocurrencies linked to traditional ones. UST decoupled from the dollar earlier this week, which sent its price tumbling through the floor. Luna's market cap has fallen from $40 billion to over $200 million. Now the big question, will Luna recover? This article here says the coin has the potential to recover, but at present things are extremely uncertain. Do Kwon, founder of Terra creator Terraform Labs, tweeted on Tuesday, close to announcing a recovery plan for UST. Hang tight. He added on Wednesday then that I understand the last 72 hours have been extremely tough on all of you. Know that I'm resolved to work with every one of you to weather this crisis, and we will build our way out of this. The Terra ecosystem is one of the most vibrant in the crypto industry, with hundreds of passionate teams building category-defining applications within. Terra's return to form will be a sight to behold. Analyst Kelvin wrote, for Luna to recover, they will need to address the problem and show clearly that such a drop will not happen again. As an analyst, I expect to see a bump in Luna price after UST is pegged back to the dollar. I also expect the prices to start recovering after the Terra project shows that similar problems will not happen in the future. So looking at Terra price here, we can see that Terra is currently sitting around 1 cent. And here we can see that on April 5th, the all-time high of Terra was $119. So you can imagine someone who had $119 in his wallet in the last 1 month, and just a month later, he's having just about 1 cent. So it's a huge loss. So many people actually lost from this particular dump that has been unprecedented in the crypto space. Anyways, here are my final thoughts about Terra. I think that Terra Luna is a wonderful and awesome project, and this is just a test of this project to see how it's going to be able to bounce back. And I'm actually going to be on the side to look at our hands, see how things eventually goes. And when this coin stabilizes, I'm also going to buy into it. And I think this is a steal price to buy Luna. Okay, so I hope that the team can be able to sort this out. And whenever the crypto market comes back again, when we bounce back again, I'm sure that this is going to be one of the projects that will make people millionaires if they actually invest big and go big on it. Anyway, this is not a financial advice, and it's just my own personal opinion. I'm just ranting about this, and I'm just going to be observing and looking at other coins too that I'm going to be buying in the crypto space. However, on the other news, we're seeing some biggest gainers here. So while even in the bear market, we also see people are still making millions. So you can imagine a coin like Sweet Soul. I don't even know much about this and what it's about. It's up by 1000% in the last 24 hours. Okay, and this one here, 300%, and Sukunu Inu is 100%. So that's cryptos for you, and I'm sure it is painful for every crypto investor out there right now because everybody is panicking and there is so much fear, extreme fear in the market. But however, always remember that it's a cycle. We have seen this before, and this might not be the last time we're going to see this kind of thing. But what happens is that at the end of this kind of cycles, we breed millionaires and we breed people who become even poorer, or people who are sent back to their villages. Alright guys, so this is how I'm going to be wrapping up with this ranting today. And if you are enjoying this kind of videos, if you enjoyed this channel, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to turn on the bell for notification for more of my videos so you don't miss out on any of my content. Until I come your way next time, I'm going to be keeping you updated on what is happening in the crypto space. This is your boy, Crypto Ray, signing out. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Destruction.